Thank you very much, everyone, and I hope you enjoy the break. Now let us get back into the forum with the next topic, which is ED driving experience of the future. 非常感谢线上还有现场的观众朋友们，回到我们的活动的现场啊，我希望大家都有充分的休息到。那现在我们回到论坛，一样要探讨的重要主题，共同题目是未来电动车的驾驶体验。Here I would like to first ask Mr. Frank Lofesser, Director After Sale and Dealer Development, Volkswagen Group Taiwan Company Limited, to come to the stage and share his presentation about the smart customer journey with us. 现在我们郑重欢迎台湾福斯股份有限公司售后服务处长 Frank Lofesser 先生，大家掌声欢迎。也欢迎他与我们分享他的主题是聪明消费者之旅。Welcome.
Is it okay for you if I remove my mask so I have more oxygen in
Yeah, it's
brain?
fine for you. Yeah, please.
So thank you very much for inviting me. Where's Axel? So Axel invited me, so thank you, Axel, for inviting me. So my name is Frank. On behalf of Audi Taiwan, I would like to give you today a little bit of glimpse how we driving in the future. Then also where are we currently? And then also not only about the car, but how has the customer changed, the transformation of our consumers, and then also a little bit about electric charging in Taiwan. So first of all, I would like to share with you a little bit how we seeing us driving from now in 10 years.
Envision a space that awakens the senses, immersive, connecting you to the world, and full of new possibilities. Experience the next dimension of inspiration. Automated, digital, powered by sustainable ecosystem. A new era of high-class mobility awaits.
So isn't that cool? So imagine, I mean, you sit in one of those cars and then you can drive from Taipei to Kaohsiung, relax, sit back, eat, drink. So no need to take the HSR anymore. But also, please don't go off the highway because then we have problems with the scooters. Okay, this is the future. So have a look a little bit what is the reality and where we are now. But also you can see on the left-hand side in 2012 and now where we are. So a big jump has done in the last 10 years. So now when I'm talking, we look the next 10 years, right? Where are we? So I mean, we're transforming quite fast. So look at this picture, we still have a stick shift inside. We had a very, very small screen. There was no connectivity, no CarPlay, no Apple Connect, nothing. So now this is our latest, one of our latest model in 2022, the Audi Q4, which will be also shortly introduced in Taiwan. And you can see, very clean, everything is digital. We are very well connected already in these cars. So you can see in 10 years, for 10 years ago we had the iPhone 4, I think, or SE, and now we are on 14. So the transformation is speeding up. So what can our cars do at the moment? So we are permanently connected. So you have your mobile phone, you go into the car, you have your completely song lists, you have your telephone book, everything is completely copied into your car. You are completely connected, you have Wi-Fi, you have Bluetooth, you can use it as an office actually, what you can see here for convenience. You can watch movies, you can do everything in the car actually. You don't need an office anymore. So our cars are customized. So example, I can use my handphone and I bring it to the door handle and the door handle recognizes me as the driver of the car and the car is opening. So there we're coming back to the security issues. So, but everything is approved, yeah, of course, in R&D. So, but there you can see how much technology is in these cars at the moment. This is incredible. Driver assistance system. I think Axel most probably mentioned this in the morning to you. So how the transformation of driver assistance system was. So in looking back 10 years ago in the cars there was nothing. We had an ABS, we have airbags. That's it about driver assistance systems. Now we have everything inside. Yeah? We have a 360-degree view in the MMI. So the cars are accelerating, by themselves, and if they see something in front and is braking, our car's brakes or decelerating, and if the customer is not be careful, the car will stop completely by themselves. So this is also quite interesting experience. I had this by myself. So the car stops. You cannot do anything. Yeah? You try to accelerate, the car stops. So this also is I would not say a problem, but this will be an impact for our retailers in the future, because we will see less and less car accidents on the road. So our dealers also has to change their mindset, and our customers will not come for body and paint repairs anymore. So that's what I say. So the transformation has a huge impact on everything. Then personalized. Yeah? So we personalize our cars. So if I go now to my car, I can set up 3-4 different drivers. So the car recognizes me. I say, okay, I'm Frank. Then my seat will be adjusted. My temperature in the car will be adjusted. Everything will be adjusted to my needs and my requirements. Then if a second driver goes in, keys in the name, the car will change to the needs and requirements of this driver. So we are really already steps ahead than 10 years ago. Car2X, I just had a small discussion with some students here, quite interesting. So they are interested in Car2X. So Car2X, what does it mean? Car2X is that the car already predicts your driving. So in the future it will be that we have smart cities. So this means the car already knows that in 500 meters the traffic light will jump to red. And the car decelerates, so we don't need to brake anymore down the car, or the car don't speed up, so we can save some fuel consumption. So this is only the basics what I'm explaining you. But we're getting so smart in our cars. Then of course, battery electric vehicles. So we have now introduced 3 models in our market, BEV cars. So we were one of the first German car manufacturer in Taiwan, so after Tesla. So was the first, and then Audi came actually. So and about the charging, I will talk about a little bit later to you. So, but not only the cars itself is changing, so now we're coming to the customer behavior. So the consumer also changed dramatically. So the needs and the requirements of a customer has changed to their convenience. So we need to change as well. So what we are doing now in Audi Taiwan is we're developing a completely new ecosystem, completely and fully digitalized for customer. So this means in the future that the customer, everything from his app, so from the vehicle purchase, so if he needs to go to maintenance, so payments, everything is on this app. So with a local company, I cannot mention this is a little bit confidential at the moment. My boss said we should not share too much. Yeah, I said, so because he wants to do the big announcement then when we are ready next year. So if you're sitting in your car now, you key in something in your navigation and say, okay, I want to go to Da'an. But the car already knows that I like to eat beef noodle soup, example. Then when you park, the car will make you a suggestion, where's the next beef noodle house. So these things, this will come. This is not far off. So we will have this latest by end of next year ready. So, and you will be really amazed. So when I talk about customer experience and how this is connected, so everything starts from a system is called Salesforce. This system is implemented in our retailers. Every retailer has to key in the customer data, and also here. So customer data is the future. We need the data of our customer. We need to know our customers. So when a customer is purchasing a car, we need to know everything about the customer, so we can serve the customer very in an excellent manner, premium service. Example, we're keying in here to the customer, Mr. Lee. We say, okay, Mr. Lee likes to play golf, birthday, of course, phone number. Mr. Lee has 2 kids, and he likes to drink Coca-Cola or a cappuccino. So, and then Mr. Lee gets a customized My Audi app, on the app, and all his data are with us. So Mr. Lee has birthday, automatically we getting a reminder, or Mr. Lee has today birthday, we automatically can contact Mr. Lee, invite him to our shop for free car wash, or we can send him a free birthday gift. So we have to keep also in touch with our customers. So then Mr. Lee wants a service, so he can book a service with the app. So he can then tell us he wants to get the car picked up, so he don't want to go to the workshop. So he comes, the car will picked up, brought to us. Then he can then do the payment with line, so automatically paid. Then he getting some points, loyalty points. And then also, what we said, the charging. So this is now also a key. So Mr. Lee has now a problem, or not a problem, he's driving still from Kaohsiung or to Taipei, or from Taipei to Kaohsiung, and he needs to charge the car in between. So at the moment we have several apps. So we have, this is also one step back, 2018, 2022. When I arrived here in 2015, we not even talked about battery electric vehicles. 2017, we got to know Audi will introduce battery electric vehicles, and we have to get ready for these cars. But there was no charging, except Tesla. Tesla had their own charging network, and for the others, there was nothing. So then, where are our colleagues from IDB? Not there. So I was in IDB and asked IDB, who's in charge to set up charging? Because we as a car manufacturer, we are not into the charging business. Then you say, oh, we looked at each other, and then I walked out of IDB because there was no answer. Nobody knew who was in charge of setting up the infrastructure. But now look at 2022, not too many years in between. We have so many charging stations. This is incredible. So as I see, the technology is changing, the people changing, because now we're getting more and more electric cars. Now there's business cases for the companies. Before there was nothing. So now, of course, everyone wants to have a piece of the pie for the charging. So I only took out a few charging providers we're having at the moment in Taiwan. And we are working together with a few of them. And our customers know now to which charging station they can go, and they are connected to each other. So we have two options of charging. I don't know if you know, but I can explain you briefly. We have DC charging. DC means fast charging. So you go with your car, 20% battery is empty. Within half an hour, you have 80%. So this is fast charging. Then we have the AC charging, which you charge your car overnight in a hotel or at home. So this is very slow charging. DC charging stations, I go back. So we, hello? Sorry. So you can see the yellow ones. So we have now a lot of fast charging stations all over Taiwan, but we're getting more and more. So there's not a problem anymore, no customer concerns to drive from Taipei to Kaohsiung. So easy. So what we have established with, sorry, digitalization. Is it okay. What we have established with Audi is a cooperation at the moment with Nuru, with TCC, with Tile, EV Oasis in eValue. So our customer be getting, when they purchase an e-tron, a charging card, and they can charge within these 5 charging operators. The next step what we have done is we have now established a roaming, because we are also not a billing company. So we don't want to get involved in electricity business. So we have now established the first roaming between Nuru and EV Oasis. So our customer can either go to Nuru or EV Oasis, and then from there, the billing process will be started. So they speaking to each other, and then they arranging the billing. So this, and we are talking now to more of the charging suppliers. So this is more convenience for our customers. So that's what I'm saying. So cars fully connected, super convenience. Now we have to look after the customer. And Taiwan is really, really ideal for this. It's small. We don't need to have a big infrastructure for charging. If you can see in Germany, what the comments earlier presented in Germany, so we don't have so much charging stations. So this is the reason why people still hesitating to buy a BEV in Europe. So here in Taiwan, we're very good off. And I think by 2023, 2024, we will see, especially in Audi, the entire sales volume will be 30%. 30% of the entire sales volume what we're selling will be battery electric cars. So imagine that, right? So keep this in mind. And then also our app for convenience. So watch the space. This will come next year. And I think this will be a big bang for Audi in Taiwan. And yeah, if you have, I give you now a big picture. So if you need more information, ask for my business card, my contact details, I'm happy to share. I have already some students, they can see me in my office, I can show them around. So it's not a problem, we are very open, also for new talents. So don't be shy, contact me for any questions. Thank you, 谢谢.
Thank you, Mr. Professor. Are there any questions for Mr. Professor? OK， 我们非常感谢来宾的分享。那接下来呢，我们要欢迎的是友达光电股份有限公司车用显示器事业单位资深处长徐文浩徐处长，来请徐处长进行分享智慧驾驶舱的解决方案。Now I would like to introduce Mr. Simon Shi from AUO Corporation to share his representation about smart copy solutions. Mr. Shi, the floor is yours.
Hello. I'll follow to take my mask off. Yeah. So, good afternoon. My name is Simon. From AUO, I'm in charge of automotive solution business unit now, and also to show my commitment to this event, I'll be in Germany this Sunday to promote automotive from Taiwan. So today my topic is the trend and opportunities of automotive display in smart cockpit. So first of all, I'll briefly introduce you who is AUO for automotive display and how do we see the trend and opportunity and what we are working on and looking for. So AUO is, we are now 25-year-old display company, and we've been working on automotive display for more than 10 years. So currently, overall automotive display, we are worldwide number 3. And also for the central information display, we are number 1. So as here you can see from Taiwan, the AUO and Innolux and the Giant Plus, overall maybe at least 4 cars, new cars sold on the market, there's a Taiwan display inside the car. So there's an average like 90 million cars sold every year, and each car has in average 2 displays. So the total display market size is 180 million pieces. Now its compound growth rate is about 15% every year. So some car has 6 displays, and we have 5. So kind of too many. But we really see the growth opportunity for the automotive display. So this is our product. In particular, you know the cluster, you know the central information display, but we also, sorry. But doesn't allow me to show that page. So recently, we also see some co-driver display, the passenger display in front of the co-driver, so that a lot of mobility service can enter. And that seat, we call queen seat, that they usually have the highest budget to allocate. Okay, so also we see the mirror, head-up display, and the side mirror. So this is a growing need for the display. So this is technology roadmap. In brief, we see later on I'll explain the technical trend we see. So also we see from previous to now, AUO has been working on the ESG for a long time for sustainability, But recently, we do see this becomes a real business because we see the more and more clear requirement from the OEM to reduce the so-called global warming potential. So we need to calculate the carbon footprint for the display, for the alloy die casting, for those metal, steel, so that how to reduce the weight and the carbon footprint and the power efficiency for the EV car. So this has becoming a very clear trend. So this is one of the examples that we work with some notebook supplier or brand to do a recycled notebook. So we also see the trend for automotive product. We need to do this kind of things. So AO is not only one company. We have a group from upstream to downstream. So in particular, something related to automotive, we have our fabless design house, which is related to semiconductor for the automotive driver IC. We also have our LED, mini LED, micro LED, that's the latest display technology. And also we have BenQ material, making optical film like a polarizer, and also the EV battery separator now already in mass production. So the whole group has been working on the automotive more and more aggressively. So the trend we see is that we see three trends for automotive display. The first one is due to the electrification, that we see more and more space available for the interior. And also due to the autonomous driving, currently level 2, that more and more entertainment requirements from the consumer. And also we see an obvious trend that all the expectation is triggered by the consumer electronics. When you get used to 4K from Netflix, you will expect a high resolution video from the car. So of course, this is a very intuitive trend that need more display. And the second trend is new way of information. So when you put too many displays, sometimes it's a distraction to the driver. Okay, so how to properly present the information needed when it's needed. So we call some people call display on demand. And the head-up display is one of the example. If you turn it off, you will feel nothing. And it turn on, it's a projection. So it won't put the black screen in front of you, but the information is shown when it's needed. So those kind of how to emerge those information display into the interior design becomes a topic from the design studio from the OEM. And the third trend is we think 90% of the plastic physical button will be replaced by display, but still some of them will be left because when you drive like 150 on the freeway, you don't want the screen is too flat to find some icon. So sometimes you need to fill it. But 90% of the button or the HMI physical button will be eventually replaced. So these are all the trend we see so that we have some technology to fulfill that. So the right side are all our products. The middle one is the augmented reality head-up display we ship to Volkswagen to their ID4, the 4.6-inch head-up display. So business model-wise, we also see a big trend of change because of the electrical engineering architecture of the car from previous head unit based that the distributed architecture to a centralized ECU architecture so that the sourcing and also the display, the head unit or the cockpit domain controller and the display are separated. So this is not only technically separated, also sourcing-wise, we see more and more opportunity that we directly discuss with OEM to define the future display format and also the resolution and all the features. So this is one of the examples that we ship the fully integrated display module directly to the OEM. So this is the happening trend we see. So for the value chain. So the tier 1, 2, 3 is now reshuffling somehow. Okay. So this is also, we see the automaker are having different thinkings. The GM claims they are becoming a platform innovator instead of an automaker because of their battery platform. And Toyota is creating a city. So they're a mobility service company. Volkswagen claims it's going to be a big software company in Europe. So we do see a lot of change. Of course, the core is still to deliver a safe car, but with a lot more user experience. And the Sony, we used to do a lot of business with Sony TV. Now they move some resources from TV to automotive and the alliance with Honda, so to leverage their core competency to create EV brand. So this is really exciting industry change. So for sure, I think recently I heard that in Japan, some people rent a car to take an afternoon nap and do a video conference call for 3 hours. I rent, so we can also rent it. So it really becoming a third living space that after COVID, you don't have a fixed seat in the office, so you have to work from home, but if you want to get away, then you maybe rent a car to take a nap, to take a break for a video conference. So in the future, really a lot of service will enter the cockpit. Okay, so we see a display becoming the most important HMI. Of course, the central computing is one thing, and the user interface will be another key factor. So what we are currently working on, this is more display technical things, but just for your reference, I have a visual ideas that when we call mini LED, it's like a micrometers, 100 micrometer scale mini LEDs. And when we talk about the micro LED, it's like a 30 micrometer square micro LED. And the beauty of micro LED is you can pick and place the LED onto different substrate, so you can do different things. So maybe I'll just share with you the video clip that helped me to share what we want to create in addition to conventional display. So this is one of the three examples of how we utilize the micro LED. The first one is we want to integrate the display into the material, the interior material, because usually you pay a lot of money to buy those luxury feeling, okay, not to buy display because a TV is very cheap. So how to really immerse those information into the cockpit material, decoration material. That's one of the topic. And the second thing is you see the latest, the BMW 7 Series, the rear seat, there is a 30-something inch display for panorama cinema. So how to make it rollable so that when you don't use it, don't need it, you just become invisible. And the latest one we call stretchable. You see your cockpit is never flat. And you see your foldable phone is just a one-dimensional foldable, but never fit in a real design, like a dome shape. They don't do that. So how to really put the micro LED onto a flexible substrate, a skin-like or clothes-like substrate, so that we can really have a conformal display integrated into the interior design. That's something, the benefit and the merit of the micro LED display. So those kind of innovation, we are gradually discussing with the OEM and also the design studio to make it happen for a real cockpit to differentiate, because in the future that the EV car or the horsepower, effective horsepower is very fast. From 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. It's within 5 seconds, it's the default. Yeah, so interior is really the differentiation point. Okay. So I think I will skip the technical part. So we are now from previous, we are display expert. We we believe user experience is the key. So how to really have a design collaboration with the tier one, with the OEM, that's something we are working on to enable by the micro LED and LED display. Okay. So I think that's wrap up my talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Shi. Are there any questions for Mr. Shi? 我们再一次感谢徐处长带来精彩的分享。那接下来呢，我们要进行专家讨论前的最后一场分享了。我们要邀请的是辉能科技股份有限公司行销处处长许荣珍，欢迎许处长上台，并与我们分享主题固态电池技术的突破商业化和 Prologen 的亮点。The topic is about solid-state battery technology breakthrough, commercialization, and highlights of Prologen. Welcome.
Okay, Mr. Lindbergh and dear audience, no matter on site or online, thanks for your participation. And I'm Lisa, marketing of Prologen. And Prologen is next generation battery, next generation solid state battery maker. And okay, as we know that things are changes in the recent years, and because for net zero, according to BCG, they said 50% of ICE car will be replaced by EVs by 2030, so that they can target to the target in 2050 for net zero. So that's why there are more than 20 countries working on the rules to speed up the BEVs development and the sales. And for the OEM car makers, they also have product plans to have completely electrified in no matter 2030 or 40. So you can see that for the battery demands, it changes, it grows a lot, almost 16 times big than 10 years ago. So if we look at from 2030, there's more than 90% of the battery demands come from electrical vehicle market. So in conclusion, the battery market scale grows to more than 3,400 gigawatt hour, and 90% battery demand comes from the from EV. And if we put it into the dollars, then the battery market scale grows to $390 billion in 2030, and this is according to BNEF's research, and they said with these numbers, 40% EV is poised to take off passenger vehicle market. But the market scale is so big, but there are still potential derailers, because they all use the liquid type battery now. And for the liquid type battery, they use the separator between the cathode and anode is weak. It's something like a very thin and soft film, just like the plastic wrap that we use in the kitchen. So you can't imagine that your safety is protected by that kind of the film, right? So for the liquid type battery, there's just inherent design in it, so it's not safe. And especially when they are thinking about to increase the energy density for longer mile range, for longer driving range, they need to use the more aggressive active materials like high nickel content cathode or the silicon oxide anode or lithium metal anode. But those active materials, when they have more capacity inside, it's become more dangerous. It's more active. That means it's more it's unstable. So when they increase the energy density for the driving range, they sacrifice the safety of the battery cell. So for the liquid type battery, safety and energy density is a trade-off. You have one, you lose another one. So with this reason, also when they use the active, when they use the high nickel content cathode or the lithium metal anode, this thing is unstable. So there's also some potential risk when they're doing the fast charging. And in other way, if they want to use a safer battery like lithium LFP, 磷酸锂铁, then LFP is heavy and bulky. So the specific energy density is also low. And for the price, since the liquid battery has already developed for more than 30 years, so all the method, or no matter the manufacturing process improvement or the material cost improvement, everything almost used before in these 30 years. So that the price has already almost the limitation of the liquid type battery. And the last thing is that since the liquid battery, there is liquid type electrolyte, and the liquid type electrolyte is solvent, and it's not environmental friendly, and also it's very hard to recycle. But palladium, our solid-state battery, can help to overcome those derailers. With our battery, we offer the fundamentally safe characteristic because we use the solid-state electrolyte instead of the liquid-type electrolyte. And we use the solid-state electrolyte to become the separator and to separate the cathode and anode. You just imagine that solid-state electrolyte or the separator is something like ceramic. So it's very, it's not like the plastic wrap that you use in the kitchen. The safety level is totally different. And for the liquid type battery, if the temperature is higher than 130 centigrade degree, the thermal runaway will happen. But for our solid-state battery, even the temperature is higher than 170 centigrade degree, 280 or 300 centigrade degree, there's no any fire, no explosion. And for the energy density, if the Tesla Model 3 use our battery instead of the cylindrical that it use now, the energy density that we can provide is 79% higher. And if they use our battery to replace the cylindrical, they also have more. They also can offer 66% faster charging ability. And for the specific energy density, we have 39% increase. And for the price, we can deliver 16% lower than the Model 3. And the best thing is that with our solid-state electrolyte, 90% can be recycled and also reused to do another new battery. So if we compare with liquid type battery, you can see that for the fast charging ability, we can do 12 minutes fast charging. And for the driving range, if they use our battery to replace the Model 3 cylindrical batteries, then we can, the driving range of our battery can deliver more than 1,000 kilometers. And for the recycled materials, we can not only recycle the cathode that liquid type battery does, but also we can recycle the solid-state electrolyte as well. And for the solid-state electrolyte, we can recycle 90% of it. And for the cost, we have 16% lower. So here is our strengths. We have strong innovation and strategic partners. From established in 2006, we've already sold our battery for more than 9 years. You see that we have sold our first battery code FLCB to HTC for them to do the power flip, HTC One Max power flip case. And that is our first customers. And after that, 3 years later, OEM car makers came to us. So we started to do automotive battery cells to them and ship the automotive battery cells, more than 7,300 pieces from 2016 to now. And among them, 2,300 is ordered cells. And in 2019, we have our first demo EV car in China. And in early of this year, we've already signed a CDA with Mercedes-Benz, and also they invested us with double-digit European dollars. And next year, we will have our first mass production line in Taoyuan, Guanyin, which production capacity, the planned production capacity will reach 3 gigawatt hour. And we will start from 0.5 gigawatt hour first, and then gradually scale up to 3 gigawatt in Taoyuan. And for now, we have 574 patents all over the world, and 91% of them are new invention patent. And there are more than 200 people's R&D and engineering. And except the 7,300 automotive battery cells, we also already shipped more than 1 million battery cells to other consumer markets, like IoT, wearable, or industry, or some niche market. And also, we have strong strategic partner like Mercedes-Benz, Vinvest, and also some upstream supplier like POSCO, and also two-wheel customer Gogoro. Okay, and another advantage of Poland is that we have various product portfolio and solid sales record. From 2013 to now, we have more than 9 years sales record with FLCB or PLCB. The FLCB, you see the golden one is flexible and it's bendable, and it's ultra thin. The thickness is only 0.45 millimeter. And for PLCB, it's just like a pouch type battery that you use with the liquid type battery. The shape or the outlook is the same, and also use the aluminum package aluminum foil as the outside package. And but except the cells, we also move forward to the module and also the battery pack. So if we compare our solid-state battery and other solid-state battery competitors, no matter in United States or in China, we are the first one who not only do the cell but also the module and pack. And when they are struggling solving the technology bottleneck of the material of the internal resistance, we've already conquered all the problem and trying to do the industrialization. So you can see that from the right side, in 2014 to 2016, we sold our battery cells to the consumer accessories, wearable or smart cards. And in 2017 to 2018, we sold our cells to IoT, professional, industrial application, or some explosion-proof industry. And in 2019, we start to deliver our automotive or big cells, which is more than 50 ampere hours to our OEM customers or aerospace application or some ESS application. So far, we have pioneer product strengths and international recognition as well. We have 16 years of R&D. We have 9 years of selling records. We have 9 years of mass production verification. And those verifications are all from third party like TUV, which is a very, very famous lab in German. And we also have UL, we also have IEC 62133. We also have ISO and ROS and UN 38.3. The reason why I want to mention about the third-party test is because solid-state battery is a very new technology, and we are the first one who can deliver or offer this third-party test to our customers. One of our OEM customers said when they've already contacted all the solid-state battery makers and tried to ask them to offer some samples to the car OEMs, but some of them cannot deliver the cells. Some of them give them just a very small cells like a fingernails, but only Prologem can give them a very big cell with more than 50 ampere hours capacity. So this is a very big differentiation between Prologem and the other solid-state battery. And also, we've already got the international awards like Edison Award. In 2019, we have the Golden Prize. In 2021, we also got one. And for the manufacturing, compared to conventional liquid type battery, our manufacturing process is more simple than theirs. You can see that we don't need the outside package of the cell. And also we can skip the module level. So compared to conventional one, our manufacturing process is more simple. That means we can cost down by the manufacturing process, and also we can make the product in a faster way. Okay, and with those 1 million pieces solid-state battery cell to the customers, the single their yield ratio already reached 99.9%, and the multi their yield ratio, just like automotive battery cell, which capacity is around 50 ampere hour or more than 50 ampere hour, the yield ratio is 94%. And this is also the first company who can deliver this kind of real numbers. Other competitor is still in lab stage. And so far, we've already have 4,000 quality control items, and also our grouping rate already achieved 95%. Okay, so if we see the third-party test, you can see that this is the safety test. No matter the penetration test, heating test, or overcharge test, there's no any fire or any explosion. And for the heating part, actually the liquid type battery, their criteria is 130 centigrade degree. But this one, you can see that the criteria of this test is already reached 170 centigrade degree. And one of our customers who do the high rail chain, they use 280 centigrade degree to test our battery, and everything is fine, no fire, no explosion. And for the overcharge test, you can see that the cutoff voltage is 2 times big. So this criteria is also more strict than the liquid type batteries. So if we compare our battery cells to conventional cylindrical battery that used in T company, you can see that the first one, SNO2 and SNO3, SNO4 are on 3 different types chemical system, which is mass-produced in 2021 and this year. So you can see that for SNO4, that no matter the product that we produced in 2020 or this year are better than the cylindrical one. Okay, I'll speed up. Too many pages. Okay, so since we have product, we have technology, we have customers, we have 9 years verification of the manufacturing ability, and also the ability for the recycle and reuse and ESG. So for our next step, we will have a global expansion. And if you have seen the news that we planned to invest about US $8 billion to have our first overseas gigafactory in Europe or in United States. And so far we've already, in Europe now, we've already evaluate 90 sites in 13 countries, and Germany is also on our short list this time. And we think that according to this plan, actually it's based on solid demand from our customers. So we hope that in the future we can cooperate with governments, European governments or Germany to increase or enhance the industry supply chain together. And this is my today's presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Thank you for your wonderful sharing. I know you have more want to share with us. And now please return to your seat. 感谢来自 Prologian 的分享哦。那接下来我要做一个简单帮大家复习一下，就是今天我们整个 forum, all of our forum is live online. We do the online streaming on YouTube, so you can review all the topics we mentioned today afterward. 我们今天讨论什么样的主题呢？也帮大家做一个复习哦。在之后呢，我们都可以回到 YouTube channel 来重新复习我们今天所讨论的重要议题，都跟我们的汽车产业未来发展非常有关系。我们今天讨论到的台德电动汽车在政策上面，还有现况的发展，以及移动时代 AI 跟自驾的解决新方案，以及在未来交通工具的挑战上，车辆跟网络安全的结合，以及未来电动车驾驶体验在智慧驾驶舱的解决流程，以及如何让聪明消费者有一个安全的旅程。另外，我们刚刚也讨论到了固态电池技术上的新突破。这些题目呢，如果说今天您有错过，或者说还想要重温的话，都欢迎在我们的 YouTube 频道，我们的整个 forum 都是有 live streaming， 而且都有 record online。好，接下来要进入非常重要的 panel discussion round. Now let's welcome all the panel discussion speakers on the stage. Now I would like to ask the following speakers to come to the stage and take your seats. Now I would like to ask our moderator for panel discussion, Mr. Axel Lindberg, Executive Director from German Trade Ops Taipei. 那我们现在要欢迎的就是我们的 panel discussion 专家讨论，我们的主持人林百科处长、德金处处长上台。另外，我们要欢迎我们的与谈者上台哦，包括了 Mr. Simon Shi 来自友达光电的 Simon， 还有 Mr. Danny Young Bosch Taiwan， 来自这个 Bosch Taiwan 的 Mr. Danny Young， 还有这个来自 Prologian Technology Company 的 Miss Lisa， 再请您再次上台。另外也欢迎 Mr. Frank Lofesser Volkswagen Group Taiwan Company Limited. Now I'd like to hand over the time to our panel discussion to the moderator, Mr. Lindberg. Mr. Lindberg, the floor is yours.
Okay, so thank you very much, dear Lisa, dear Frank, Simon, Danny. Many thanks for your presentation. I think you picked up a huge part of the content we'd like to discuss during the presentation. So I'd like to be focused on two main topics during our discussion now. First should be, we have mentioned we see a really huge transition of the automotive industry. As mentioned, we see the technical part, we see hardware, software are getting closer together. We see a strong change also of the customer focus from pure mobility to convenience and let's say connectivity. So from my understanding, or I would be very interested on two topics. What are the effects on the supply chain if we see this substantial changes? And where do you see opportunities, chances for Taiwanese companies to step in, to, let's say, become partner of these supply chains? And for our Taiwanese partners, more or less, what is your experience in getting in touch with the German companies? Because we hear quite often that it is very difficult to find the right point of contact to get, let's say, to build up customer relations with German companies. So what is your experience and what would be your recommendation? Maybe I start with Frank on, let's say, there's a topic, what is the expected change and what is your experience there?
Change in supply chain. So supply chain actually at the moment very critical for us, spare parts, to bring the spare parts into Taiwan. I mean, I have learned today that we have actually a lot of suppliers sitting here in Taiwan. So I didn't know, and I was not aware about it. Yeah? So he's also next week in Ingolstadt to talk to people in ODAG. But this is also, we as a subsidiary, we are quite far away from the manufacturer because the purchasing is done centralized in Volkswagen Group and in the headquarters. So we as a subsidiary, we only could maybe potential connect the people from Taiwan with our headquarters. But personally speaking, and for me, it would make my life much, much easier if we would have access to the spare parts directly in Taiwan. So we don't have to wait for spare parts for too long, especially now during Corona in the interrupted supply chain.
Okay, thank you very much. A clear indication where our Taiwanese partners should look to. Lisa, Prologium, you are in cooperation with Daimler. What is your experience? How does it work to cooperate with German companies, to get in touch with German partners? And what is your expectation? What comes next in the supply chains and the development?
Okay, this is a very big question. Okay, and we've co-worked with Daimler for many years, actually, from 2017. And actually, we've already signed an MOU with them in 2018, but till this year, they signed a CDN and investors. The reason why it takes so long is because German company is very serious in doing the development and technology. They are not like other countries, speed up but sacrifice some quality issues. They are very serious. So they test our battery cells from 2017, but at that time our battery cell is not so mature. Actually, we can do the fast charging at that time, but our energy density is not so good at that time. But in 2019, when we start to transfer the cathode and anode material, then energy density just improved. So almost every car OEMs back to us and trying to cooperate with us. So from technical part, because our technology is new, so maybe it's easier to explode under the spotlight. But if we are thinking about the activities like the global production, global factory expansion for the investment, the fundings, or if we want to have a gigafactory, overseas gigafactory. Actually, our company is small and new. We don't have any resources or connection in European, in German. We only have friends of those OEM car makers. So if we want to have more explosion in Europe, then we might need a very strong partner's help, just like German Trade Office Taipei. If you can help us, then help us to increase or expand the connection between project and governments, and help us to have more resources or grants or some fundings to have the overseas gigafactory, then it's much appreciated.
Okay, thank you very much. So I understand, as a Taiwanese company, you should become visible, and then the German OEMs or the German companies will find you. Danny, you explained before the forum that Bosch, as a big, let's say, supplier of car parts components is also in the transition phase to become system partner. What is your experience in getting in touch with the Taiwanese companies, and what do you see, what are the next developments for the supply chains for the automotive industry?
As a global leader supplier mobility solution, Bosch see the transformation as an opportunity for us, and is actively drive the transformation. And like my mentioned in my presentation past, it's our vision of the mobility solution. Bosch is had a heavy upfront investment in the R&D activity. For electromobility, Bosch had shifted our expertise from the internal combustion engine to the fuel cell technology. For connected and automotive mobility, Bosch is putting our know-how into the components and electronic components and software. Bosch is one of the biggest supplier for the mobility solution. And with this such the commitment, Bosch had harvested for greater result, and with successful driven the transition. For to talk about electromobility, no one company can offer as many mobility solutions as the Bosch. We had established the mobility, electromobility department, and we see it will be our next chapter of the success story. It is established itself and be a company core business from now. And Bosch is the innovation leading company and is in the electrical drive. And no company as the Bosch can provide so many products from the e-bike to construction machining. To talk about the connected and automotive mobility, we are developing the connected and connecting and automatic mobility of the future. Bosch, we was recognized. We was recognize the future of our electronics and software for the automotive industry requirement. And from now, the Bosch had realized software and electronic components will be the key for future. So not like only the automotive company can do, Bosch also is the software company for year. This is my answer.
Okay, thank you very much, Danny. I think you mentioned two important topics from my perspective, that it becomes more and more electronic focused, and of course it's not only a task for the supply chain, it's also a big internal task for let's say all automotive companies to ensure the internal transition process from ICEs to battery vehicles and to ensure that the technology is also internally ready. Simon, you mentioned you're looking back on a long experience with German companies. Your technology as for displays is, I would say, in between technology and customer experience. What do you see? What trends have you experienced, and do you expect in respect of the change and the transition of the automobile let's say, the connected devices, and what would be your recommendations, lessons learned to get in touch with German companies? You mentioned you're going to Germany. Frank disclosed where you are going also. So it's clear you have a direct contract to the OEMs.
Right. So yeah, we have a more and more direct interaction with OEMs because of the whole transformation of the cockpit. So our experience is comparing to consumer electronics, usually display accounts for like 50% or 30% of the total end products. But for automotive, we only account for 1 to 2%. So it takes some patience that you have to enter that another world. It's not display world, it's an automotive world. But for Europe, I think one thing I want to recommend by myself is Europe, there are a lot of satellite, like a small tier one, satellite tier one around the OEM. It's not the case in other area, like American, you cannot find it. So for example, in Munich, you can find a whole bunch of small tier one serving the OEM around there. Because Continental and Bosch are as tough as OEM, right? But if you have the partner with those kind of, we call satellite tier one, you are more familiar with the thinking inside the OEM. So they're so close to them. So finding your core competency, building some track record, and find the right partner in Europe. I think ultimately, as long as you have the value that the OEM is so good at managing supply chain. So they will guide you once they know you. So that's how we work gradually. Then we set up office in Stuttgart, then to serve more and more customer there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So it's, I would say, lesson learned to say, okay, it's a long-term approach to really get successful on the European market. And of course, it's different development steps. Now, I'd like to move forward from, let's say, hardware a little bit more to, let's say, connectivity. Frank, in your presentation, it became clear that the cars are really becoming interconnected devices, and driving is, let's say, the main purpose, but it's only part of the, let's say, package a car offers. So this means also we see that the borders between hardware, software, getting, let's say, more open. We see more interconnections. What is your experience? Will this trend continue, and do you have some examples, maybe here in Taiwan, where you cooperate with Taiwanese partners to increase the convenience for our customers here and to, let's say, push the connectivity of the cars?
So first of all, in my presentation, I think you saw some similarities to Simon's presentation, how the car in the future will look like. So he talked about similar things, also big screens and the connectivity functions. So super important, and that the car is actually a hotspot now, so fully connected. Talking about customer convenience and cooperating with local partners. So as I said, as a subsidiary, we are not into the purchasing part, but I spoke a little bit of customer convenience and what we are developing, this app for one all-in-one function app. So we're using a local partner at the moment, so I cannot disclose it, so this is a little bit secret, but I think this is a very interesting project. And I think Rahil, so my Lauban, so he will explore a little bit later to you in 2023. And I think, yeah, it's really exciting, and this is not existing here in Taiwan. And if we getting this, if this hits off very well, I think we can roll this out on a globally base.
So you gave us here a teaser, so we have to pull out a little bit more details out of you. No, but Danny, from Bosch perspective, do you see also, let's say, the trends that software, hardware getting closer together?
Yes, as you can see in my presentation today, the software and hardware get closer and closer, especially provide a IoT service. As I mentioned in my ride care project, we will use the hardware to detect the signal and send to the cloud to do the search algorithm and to provide the service to the end user. Yeah, this is a kind of the example. Thank you.
Okay. Simon or Lisa, some comments on your experience? You are coming from the hardware side, as I understand from your presentation.
Right. So for me, this is a super interesting topic, because what we see is that the way of the head unit or ECU interact with display is already a big change. So what we try to probe or explore is the role and responsibility for the whole software architecture is still to be defined, because some SoC system on chip supplier used to master in cell phone now transform into automotive. So they have the biggest foundation of the platform. Then the application layer that the OEM may want to control that, because for the EV, there's no maintenance. You don't have to go to the maintenance every 6 months. So all your service and cash flow will through the OTA and the software. So they want to control that. But in the middle, from the firmware to the whole software architecture, there are a lot of space to explore. And to our understanding, it's not defined yet. So it's a great timing to explore that, co-work with the OEM to find our role. Yeah.
Yes, for the electrical cars, it's still on the beginning of a very big growth. So I think there is still a distance to overcome, no matter the challenges or the new things happened maybe a few years later. But no matter the software or the hardware will become or improve, the basic one is they need battery. Yeah. No matter the connected cars with the software or the VDA or the Bosch, the Bosch and the software, they all need battery. And I mean not the general type battery, but the steady and safe battery. Yeah, that's right. You don't want when you use the AI or the software the advantages, but no power. So anything just stop and unworked. So the battery still is the basic one, and I usually take a joke as that if I want to buy a car and if the battery is made by liquid type, then I will have a little bit concern. Yeah, but in the future, I think that although solid-state battery is a new technology, but it's more real, and it's faster than you think. It's more commercialized or industrialized. The speed is more faster than you can imagine. And before they met Pologen, actually many no matter the researcher or some OEMs, they can't imagine that solid-state battery has already being so mature. But after they saw our battery and test our battery safety and electrical performance, they found that, well, it's almost there. So that's one thing. So, but to the industry, if we want to make the industry more mature, one company is not enough. Actually, we're welcome to all other solid-state competitors, and we are not fear or we are not afraid to fight with. No, I'm sorry. We can co-work with those competitors together, and to fulfill all the different applications. After all, in the end of the day, there still needs some different battery types fulfill different applications for different needs. Yeah, so I think that liquid type batteries still have their position, and the solid state battery also they have a very good future. But this and phosphate batteries still have their position because they are cheap, right? So in different applications need different batteries, but we see a very positive future for the next generation battery.
Okay, thank you very much. I think time is ticking. We have seen and we have learned, or I've learned a lot of new things. And before we close the panel, I would like to ask all of you for one final sentence. So what is the headline from your perspective of the automotive industry in 5 years? I'd like to start with Danny. What is the takeaway?
in the future, for next 5 years, I think the service is quite important, especially in the Bosch. We are in the transformation phase. We used to be the hardware supplier, and in the future, we will be the service and the software supplier. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Lisa, from your perspective, what should happen in the battery business? One sentence, what do you expect?
In 5 years.
Yeah.
In 5 years. In 5 years. Okay. Very challenged, but I can foresee the future.
Okay, thank you. Simon?
I think the most interesting thing is the whole smart mobility, in addition to the passenger car itself, but the whole smart mobility. Yeah.
Okay, in 5 years' time, so this is also our strategy, what we're having. So in 5 years' time, Audi Taiwan, we want to be selling at least 40% of our cars electric here, and we want to be #1 in the premium segment. So this is a clear target, what we're having in vision.
Thank you very much. Very clear statements. I have to thank you for your presentations, for the discussion. From my perspective, the main takeaways are really, we are in a transition process. We are in front of terra incognita, what happens. So in this area, a lot of new opportunities for Taiwanese companies, for joint ventures between German and Taiwanese companies. And the recommendation, if you want to go to Germany, it needs to be prepared. It's a long run. It's not a short and quick activity and a quick win. But if you are there, it's very stable. We can see it with Simon. It seems that they have quite good and long-term business. So I have to thank you very much to all of you. Thank you to our team. Thank you to our participants. And I return the mic to Grace as our moderator.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Limbe. And now I would like to ask all of the speakers on the stage to remain on the stage. We would like to take a final group photo. Please stand up and stand in the line right in front of the little desk. Okay, now please stand closer to each other and please take off your masks for a few minutes, few seconds. Please pose a thumbs up in front of the camera. Thank you very much indeed for this wonderful panel discussion, very exciting and interesting presentation for all of the speakers here today. Thank you very much indeed, and thank you, Mr. Limbe, for your panel discussion lead moderation. OK， 我们再次感谢所有参与今天活动的贵宾们，感谢大家。And now I would like to ask all the speakers to return to your seat. Thank you very much indeed for today's participating. And now once again, I would like to thank all of our audience today here in Taipei, as well as our audience around the world on YouTube. I hope you have enjoyed today's event, and we are looking forward to see you all again very soon. 再次感谢现场的贵宾及观众，还有所有线上观看的朋友们。今天我们的论坛已经圆满完成了，希望您感到收获满满，也期待明年很快再次见到您。我们下次见，晚安。